First of all, I want you to know I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me today. And from what I hear, Becky said you're one of the guys who gets it. So that's a
I
very
get
high
it.
compliment from Becky. And she's sharp. She's one of our best. So I just wanted you to know she said that about you. So that's pretty cool.
Thank you so much.
First of all, you're a Golden Corral owner down there, right?
Uh-huh.
Franchise owner. Awesome. Congratulations. Got your own place. And what city are you in Alabama?
Dothan, Alabama.
Dothan. I got some good friends up in Huntsville.
Huntsville? Okay, yeah, that's too far from us.
They're two entrepreneurs up there, like yourself. They're entrepreneurs up there, and they're good boys. I do want to say this before we get into this. I want you to know we're honored that you've chosen us to help you recognize the accomplishments of your top people. So I want you to know I appreciate that for myself and for my entire team. So anyway, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I do want to say this. Could you tell me a little bit about yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Why not? Where you want to start? From when I was where you want to go?
You don't have to go back to birth, but how did you happen to get interested in having your own franchise at Golden Corral?
Well, I'll tell you what, I've been with Golden Corral since 2008. And
Wow.
I actually was persuaded away from Golden Corral because I always like to say, what do I look like working for a buffet with my talent? Buffet industry. I came from fine dining, from the Olive Gardens to the Romano's Macaroni Grill. So, and they just recruited me. I was like, well, I love challenges, and buffet was always something. You constantly stay busy. So since 2008, I started in Augusta, Georgia. Augusta, Georgia is pretty much my home. That's where I was raised at. Home of the Masters and James Brown.
That's right. Yeah.
Right.
Touche. I got you.
That's right. But I started there as a hospitality manager. Within 6 months, I became the kitchen manager. And then within a year of that, I started traveling, and I was an 18 coordinator for Golden Corral. So I was a coordinator with 12 other people on my team. We opened up different restaurants across the state. Across the United States, from Texas to California to Oklahoma, North Carolina.
Where were you in North Carolina? That's where we are.
Yeah, so the headquarters is in North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yeah, I've been there. Absolutely.
So yeah, we opened up some stores across the states, and then I said, I'm getting tired of this. I need to be home. So I got back home. We then came from when Golden Corral was growing from the smaller versions to now they call them the pavilions, which is the big boys of the Golden Corral. They do about 7 million in sales. It's crazy.
Nice. That's awesome.
But when in Augusta, we had 2 Golden Corrals in Augusta, Georgia, one on Peach Orchard Road and Bobby Jones Expressway. So we merged that into one. And that's when I was like, you know what? I'm ready for a challenge. I'm ready to be a GM. So within 2 years of the company, so 2010, I became general manager in Kinston, North Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
It was
I'm from Morehead City.
Morehead? Wow.
Yeah, it's like home week.
Goldsboro.
Yeah, that's where I was born, actually. So, yeah.
Wow, small world. Look at that.
Yeah, I know it.
Awesome. That's awesome. But I was there for about 9 months in Kinston when they said, hey, you want a bigger opportunity?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, because Kinston's too boring for me.
Yeah. I can't hear you saying that. It is a little town. I can understand that wholeheartedly.
Right. And I was like, wife and 3 kids. I was like, yeah, it'd be more things for my kids to do. So let's move. So I said, okay, let's go to Raleigh, North Carolina. So we went up to Raleigh, not knowing they were going to put me in the store right next to the headquarters.
Yeah. Oh, wow. No pressure there.
So I was at the flagship. I said, so.
Got to bring your A game every day.
I brought it every day. But
I
you know
bet
what?
so.
I did very successful there, but to my assumption, I did. So I took a leap of faith, and I said, okay, let's go ahead and let's go there. So you couldn't do anything right. You couldn't do anything wrong at a flagship, if you know what I mean by that.
I do, yeah.
Okay, so 9 months after being there, my wife had the best job ever that she was working at. I was struggling because I was making a little bit less than what I was making in Kinston.
Oh, wow.
Wouldn't have thought that going
No, you wouldn't.
Raleigh,
Absolutely.
at the flagship, you have to basically you're the one that's entertaining all the franchisees that are wanting to purchase a Golden Corral.
Oh yeah.
So extra food on hand, more labor on hand.
And a positive distraction, but a distraction nonetheless.
Correct. And you're the test store for everything.
I get you.
For everything. So
yeah.
the money wasn't coming in. So, and I'm not a brown noser. I'm a straight up person up front. You know, I hate to be fake.
Yeah.
You know, and so with 9 months being there, they said I wasn't the right fit for the job.
Uh-huh.
So I took a demotion. So I went to work at the Golden Corral as a kitchen manager at the Capitol Boulevard location.
Oh yeah.
In North Carolina. And I got snuck about a month being there, I got snuck under the rug from the vice president that pretty much, you know, knew I was capable of what I was doing. He says, we lost somebody in Dothan, Alabama. What do you think about Dothan? You start off as a GM. Yeah. Nobody knows you there yet. We're going to put you on the assigned list until our meeting.
I got you.
So I called my mom. I said, what do you think about Alabama? She says, Alabama? My wife says, really?
Yeah.
I said, baby, I got to pay the bills. We need stuff. I got to do what I got to do until I can find something else.
Yeah.
So I get here to Alabama in 2012. And it was, so when I walked in, I was like, what am I getting myself into? I've never been to the most dirtiest restaurant in my life.
A challenge right out of the gate.
Very challenging.
That's why they put you there.
I said, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. You know, it is what it is. And so the first 6 months, my wife was in Georgia. They were finished. They moved on. We moved from Raleigh. We went to Augusta. That's where family is.
Yeah.
And she stayed with her mom, and my mom was helping out at the time. So I was in Dothan by myself for the first 6 months, and I worked 6 months straight, no days off, whether it was 4 hours, 12 hours, 2 hours, whatever. Wow. I worked 6 months
You were a company
straight.
Man all the way.
All the way. So that same year in 2012, the following year, I'm sorry, because it's a 13 period. The following year, we was #1 in the company.
No kidding. Man, Becky was right about you. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. We turned #1 in the company, and I find out who said I wasn't the right fit, which was the CEO at the time. It was his last year in office, and at the convention in Boca Raton, I got to sit at the table and right next to him and said, and told him thank you.
Thumbing your nose at him, weren't you? I love it. That's funny.
So the following year we were #3. The following year we got to #6 and then #7. As you know, it gets harder competing against.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You got a target on your back.
Yeah. And then the 4th year in 2016, so I was there in 2012, 4 years later, I purchased the store.
Good for you.
So I've been a franchisee for 4 years.
Right. From one entrepreneur to another. Congratulations, my friend. That's awesome.
Thank you, brother. And that's my story, man.
I hear you. Well, you're not done yet, because I understand you're also a motivational speaker. So tell us how you got into that.
Becky told you, but don't
she did.
Did Becky tell you that I'm opening up another broken egg here in Dothan too?
No.
That's me.
Awesome. Way to go. Yeah, that's good. Diversifying is always a good thing. I love it.
Sir.
I love it. Well, now how'd you get into speaking?
Natural.
Church?
Motivation, I guess, by
church to start or something else?
Yeah, you could say that. And the motivation with my mom raising me and my brother on her own. Seeing her going through the ropes and different stuff like that, and sports.
Always, you got to have that.
Always. So the competitive
great training field.
Yeah, I just hate being last.
you and me both.
I get mad, but I get mad inside. I don't show it.
I got you.
But I show it based off of numbers.
Yeah. And got that burning in the chest, baby.
Right. That's like right now, I'm ready to reopen May 1st. I'm like, let's go.
I know. We're going to talk about that in a little while. I'm glad you said that. But all right. So tell me about your first speaking deal when you were out, wherever you were. Tell me about that.
I did it in a youth program.
Good. Giving back. Awesome.
Giving back to the community. So right now I also do it at the schools, Dothan High School and Northview High School before everything was going down. I got to go to the classrooms and teach them about the fundamentals of business and what the kids have to have on a business mindset.
Awesome.
One of the things that I took on upon myself is I told them I had two subjects to talk about. I talked about credit because they don't teach you credit in school.
That's true. They don't. They don't teach you stuff you got to have.
No, they don't teach you what to do when you get pulled over.
No. Yeah, that either. That's right.
But I taught them about credit, the 3 different credit bureaus, the FICO scores, different stuff like that, and what they need to do.
Yeah.
And then
it
also,
sure is easy to screw it up, isn't it?
Oh man, it's so easy to screw it up.
Stays with you for 7 years too. That's terrible.
Right. But it
Ask
takes
me how I know.
for inquiry to go off and 7 years for it to completely go off.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's crazy. But and then I also talked to them about applying for applications, eye contact, shaking hands, what to say during interview processes. So those are some of the things that I gradually took on.
Good.
Then now I also have different calls from guys around the areas. We have like a weekly call. We stopped it because of the COVID-19.
Yeah.
But we used to have like the weekly calls, and we used to just say, hey, let's talk about credit this week, or hey, let's talk about family this week, and to motivate different things and just different topics. But
man,
I love to do it, man. I love to give back because it gives more to me than what I deserve. I'm being honest with you. So,
well, you truly master something by teaching it. So it benefits everybody involved, and it just makes you stand out in people's minds. Right. But it also, it gives you that sense of satisfaction that you're giving back, which is powerful.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely, man.
All right. Now you mentioned that you're excited to get back.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, tell me, with that in mind, what has been your biggest aha moment or takeaway or realization from this situation about your life and about your career with Golden Corral that is going to change now from what you've gone through these almost 2 months of not being open? What's your biggest takeaway from this? What are you bringing back with you that you did not feel you had before? That's a big question.
Good question.
That's a big one.
Big question.
You got to dig deep.
I would say, we always lose the commitment sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think that is the biggest thing that I see is getting back and starting from scratch again and knowing where you came from.
Yeah.
Because we can get content very easily on what we do. And if we always remember, because everything we do is a mindset. Everything we do is a mindset. So if we get content, we get complacent, then that means we're losing focus. And I think the world is going to come out very differently.
I agree.
To a place where you're going to have some people in your organization that's going to come back speaking a second language.
Yeah.
Because they have time to
yeah, it's true. Literally, yeah.
You're going to have some people come back and say, hey, I'm ready to be a supervisor. I'm ready to go this. The people that have, I think we greatly appreciate our lives more now than we ever have.
I agree.
Families and everything. But to me, I think it refocused me to be more committed than I've ever been before. To dig deeper. Yeah. A big hooray is what I just left our meeting today. I made one of our managers call all the employees back and say, hey, who's coming back or not? Because we're just saying, hey.
You got to know.
So you got to know. So out of 63 employees, I got 62 coming back.
Buddy, that is awesome.
Wow. So that's great leadership.
No doubt.
Great leadership, positive, being good, there for your people.
Yeah. Oh, man.
They will be there for you.
Boy, that's awesome. You can see why you are where you are because of that thinking.
Yeah.
And the way you act. So that's huge. Now, you know what? Here's one thing. As of this recording, and our talking today, 22 million Americans are on unemployment now. Okay.
Wow.
With that in mind, what do you think? How do you think your employees, when they're coming back, you got 62 of them or 61, you said?
62.
62 people coming back. How do you think this whole situation has affected their loyalty to you and to the company and you to them?
Well, that's a great question. I look at it like, because you're going to have some people say, well, heck, I can make more sitting at home.
Some cases that's true. Absolutely.
Right. You know, but
but that ends.
It does. It does. Everything comes to an end.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Everything comes to an end. You can't always be on the top. There's somebody chasing you if you're not staying committed. So
that's right.
My biggest thing it will be very good question. Besides the fact that most of them are going to want to stay at home and saying, I'm making more than what I was making. Mm-hmm. Some of them are going to have the mindset like, I know it ends. Some of them are going to have the mindset of, and depending on their job, well, I wanted to leave this job anyway, so this was just end result, and now I found something better. Yeah. But I really think that it depends on the leadership of the organization and how the people were treated before COVID-19.
Absolutely.
Because that is the lasting memory they have.
That's exactly right.
So it has to be people first in anything and everything we do. If you don't have God first, then it's your people, because it comes with your family and then everything else. But I think the world will just still be better. I mean, I really do. I think we'll find an end result for it. We'll be able to go out. It'll be a new life. Yeah. It'll be a new life. Yeah. And we just got to go out positive. And I think the news right now needs to send out some motivational speeches.
I agree. I agree.
Instead of having the total number of cases and the total number of deaths on the screen every time you see it, because then you're putting the fear.
Yeah.
You know, the fear.
Reinforcing the fear. Absolutely.
Reinforcing it. Yeah. So, but I think we just need to have some type of motivation up there and continue, because we have weekly calls on all of our employees. And I think that's also one thing that's kept us all together. Tight. Just telling them what's going on during the Golden Corral Corporation, what they're doing, what we're going to plan to do when we get there, when we're a week out, when we're 2 weeks out. Man, I had this planned out 4 weeks out, you know. So it's crunch time. So we're just ready to reopen.
Oh man, I'm excited for you anyway. Now let me ask you this. How do you feel your recognition, granted you're using our recognition program, again, we appreciate that, but how do you feel your recognition program is going to change through all of this in the eyes and the minds of your employees?
I think they're going to work harder for it. I really think that.
Why do you think that?
Well, one, I think we utilize your program to a high level. I think everybody uses your program differently. We do PA announcements, shout outs, Facebook posts with the actual person.
Good, you do it all. Awesome. Good for you.
We do it all. We also give them $250 cash.
Sweet.
I mean, so
that's hardcore right there.
Yeah. You got to give back, see?
Yeah. I get that. That's good.
I mean, like for the months that we're closed, I put, for the employee of the month, we put Team Dothan. You know, it was the whole team. The whole team was gone, so we all affected to it.
I get it.
So there's not going to be a missing month at all. It's going to be a team effort or a solo effort. But I think they're going to come back ready to run, ready to go. Get that recognition up there, because now, one, they already had a good break. They're tired probably of their spouse and significant other. They're probably tired of being inside their four walls and ready to interact with guests. And miss each other as a family, because we're a family.
That's true. Likewise, that's very, very important, very critical to the success.
But I think they're going to come back and just be like, yo, how many points am I away? Because, you know, we do weekly postings, and then we don't post the last week because then we do the announcement.
I got you.
It's like a chase. So they know where they are for the first 3 weeks.
Yeah.
They don't know where they end at until we make the announcement. So
good. And that's one thing, especially a lot of restaurants of all businesses have that opportunity. They can put up the ranking about how they've done in a particular category. And
right.
I don't know all the things that you choose to use as your criteria for choosing your winners, but when you put it up and it can be seen, It's always the top of mind awareness, right?
That is.
They see it, and it's a constant reminder every time they walk by it. So I'm glad you do that. Very good for you. Most managers don't think to do that, but they should, and that's very good. Let me ask you this. What advice would you give other managers about recognition and why it matters so much to your success and to the success of your people?
Well, it goes back to what we stated, put your people first. People run the business.
That's right.
So my recognition to other managers, I would basically tell them, like, you always want to be recognized by your upper. So recognize your people below you.
Yeah, that's right.
They do most of the dirty work for you.
It's true. Absolutely true.
So I would always just say, put something out there, because out of sight, out of mind is the biggest killer.
Yeah.
So reinforcement, always seeing something on a weekly basis, a day-to-day basis, alley rallies, pre-shift meetings, however you want to call them, include all of that. Especially now you had time off. I hope managers are generating their thought process versus sleeping or playing video games. Getting their mindset geared up to be ready for the new, because this is going to be the new. And
the new normal.
Yeah. So you got to put your people first. Have a game plan set. Have something posted for them daily. Besides even the rewards that we get and the plaques that we get, give them something additional. Let them maybe have their schedule for a week, write their own schedule for a week. If they want overtime, give it to them. They deserved it. They made you look great. They benefited your business. What's giving $100 or $200? It means a lot to them. And especially us coming out of this pandemic.
Oh yeah, especially after coming out of this.
They're going to want that one-on-one, that positive reinforcement. And, if you got to be a little lenient, be a little lenient, but just be straight up honest with them. Like, hey,
always,
and that's it, man. But my recognition to other managers is stay positive, communicate, post memos. Just go all out. I do it all.
Just out of curiosity, how do you use the shout out pads?
Shout out pads. Okay. So, we keep them in our office because they can just go in there and just ramble in them and just write anything out.
Okay.
We make sure it's not something that you're just automatically supposed to do anyway. Like, you can't just give a shout out because your buddy helped you bust a table. Well, it's part of their job, okay?
Absolutely, yeah.
But we do a shout out card based, so that employee has to come to that manager on duty, inform them what they want to do a shout out for. That manager just says, okay, excuse me, that's approved or that's not approved. Once we shout them out on the PA system, and then we hang them up on our shout out board that's in the back. That also has the sheets, the weekly, the stats based on the categories as well.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. When you say you shout out on the PA system, is this when the customers are there?
Yeah.
Good. Excellent. Because that just reinforces it even better. Just out of curiosity, do you bring them out in the middle of the restaurant and do it?
Yes. That's where we even
man. That's awesome.
Where we even do the rewards at.
Even better. Awesome. Yeah. Man, that's really good. You got it dialed in, buddy. That's for sure.
Yeah. I love it.
All right. Let me see. I appreciate your time. I know you're busy, but I just got one or two little things left I want to ask you. And this is an important question. Okay. You're obviously a very successful restaurant manager. Forget that. Business manager. You know what it takes to go to the top. Very impressive. What advice would you give other managers, regardless of in a restaurant or not, about coming back and the mindset that they should have in whatever their business is? What advice would you give them?
Don't give up, because the rewards are endless. Mm-hmm. Stay positive. Be phenomenal or be forgotten.
Yeah, well, that's true.
So you got to think of your end result and make sure you have a weekly plan, not a daily plan. Uh-huh. And make sure you're able to go against the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yeah. So
I got you. And all three of those are going to show up.
And all three of those will show up. So make sure you have a game plan.
That's right.
But coming back into this,
Mm-hmm.
you have to have a mindset of, we're going to make this regardless, and you're going to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless if I got to wake up 2 hours early, I need to be there. If I got to stay 2 hours late, I need to be there.
Yeah.
And it's not
All
just
in.
saying, oh, yeah, it's all in or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just going to say, oh, I remember you used to just coming in from 9 to 5 and not go home. No. Or if you're still doing that, put forth more of an effort to make sure the sanitation is there. The social distancing is still there.
Mm-hmm.
You're impeccable on your food, or you're impeccable on your customer service, because nobody's going to want to spend any of their money right now because they're still scared, number one, and going out. So they want to come to a clean, friendly, happy environment where they feel welcome, special, and appreciated like they would in their own home. And that's the mindset you have to have.
Got it. All right, Elri. I want you to know, buddy, I appreciate you taking some time with me today, and,
yes, sir.
And with the rest of our clients and our people out there in our world. And I just want you to know I appreciate you challenging and educating and really just inspiring people to do the best they can and to help their people do the best they can to accomplish the goals of everyone involved.
Yes,
and I just want you to know I appreciate your time. And for everyone, I just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you so much, man. Pleasure speaking with you today.
Likewise. Thank you so much. You take care, okay?
Awesome, brother. You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.